The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And it is Wednesday in the Riv.
And I understand there's a special meeting tonight.
Yes, a special meeting to promote whatever new optic plan that they have to pretend that they can fix Fall River in a short time with lipstick and Band-Aids. Yes, I will be there.
Is the pigs going to be fresh?
I will be there, and I will speak on the issue, and I hope there will be a lot of people there because we are facing a catastrophic period. Again, it was on the one of our city councilors, Trot. And you always give credit what credit's due. Was on the radio saying what we've been saying now for months, that we have reached critical mass stage for low income and fixed income people. And like we said, it's not only the city issue. He said the city, the state, and the federal government has to do something about this.
Right.
Because people are being pushed out of their homes, and in Fall River, it's the worst case scenario because in other cities, housing was fairly expensive to begin with, and they've got increases incrementally. Now they're going to get a bigger increase because they've gone up. But in Fall River, they've gone up 2 or 3 times their value. So, and you factor that in with the fact that they have a lower ability to pay because they're low income or fixed income. It's catastrophic to people in this thing. And we see this being spoken of even in Rhode Island, in Somerset. Somebody ran for selectman. But I don't hear anything in Fall River. What I hear is more lipstick and more, and we know how successful these things are. We know they did a revitalization, revamp, renovation. You can call it anything you want. You can call me anything, but don't call me late for dinner. I don't care. The reality is that none of it worked. Yeah, Purchase Street got lipstick. Purchase Street still Purchase Street.
That's right. That's right. And this meeting is to develop a revitalization plan for the Flint, and more specifically, the Pleasant Street corridor. They even named it. Nice.
Oh, well, that has to come. The fancy names for the spin.
That's right.
You have to have.
You have to have the fancy names. That meeting will be held tonight at 6:30 at the Our Lady of Light Band Club on Quarry Street. That's right across the street from the
old Planet Fitness.
The old Planet Fitness. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, the old Burlington Coat Factory.
The old Burlington Coat Factory and dollar store.
Right behind the old St. Anthony of Desert Church. We're saying that half of them don't know it because it's not there anymore.
Right.
It's now a parking lot, but actually that used to be part of St. Anthony of Desert Church. So that land was
right. So if you can be there tonight, be there. Have your voice heard. I know you're going to say, well, the Flint doesn't affect me, the Pleasant Street doesn't bother me. Find out where your money is going. Find out where it's going, what they're actually going to do with it. Because if you don't know where the money's going, you can't complain later. Okay? And while we're on money and spending of money, I want to give a great award to Sean Kadim and Andrew Raposo.
Wow, how did I know you were going to go there? And let's give a big, huge shout out to the only person who cares about the taxpayer of that 3-person committee.
That's right.
Michelle Dion. City Councilor Michelle Dion.
So Andrew Raposo and Sean Kadim are the new tax king in Fall River. Because, and now don't get me wrong, Sean has always been a tax guy.
Oh, he loves taxes.
He loves taxes.
Taxes. I love him. He loves
and
them.
he puts up a good front that he doesn't, and but he knows his stuff. He does know his stuff when he's talking about, the budget and where the money's going and where it should go.
I don't know if he knows about where it should go.
Where it should go. But I'm sorry, I can't support him in this, and I will do everything possible. And this is Andrew's first term, his first time on the city council, and it's a shame to say that I may have to do everything possible to support other candidates so that he doesn't serve another term.
He's unfortunately come out of the gate very poorly supporting, and ironically, he is the principal of Espiritu Santo School, which is in the Flint, which is a low-income area, and a lot of his students I know come from low-income families, and he should have a sensitivity for these things. But I actually heard it on the radio today. Very rarely do I turn on the radio, but with the dog, you know, it's like. Turn on the radio just to see if there's anything, and that's when I heard about the Andrew Raposo and Sean. Well, Sean Kadim loves to spend money. That's his bag. Tax, spend, tax, spend.
It would have been 3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it probably would have been 4-1 because there's 5 members on the ordinance committee, and only 3 of them were present.
Yeah.
So where'd the other 2 go? Linda's on vacation, isn't she?
Well, they don't want to vote on this because the taxpayers are watching now.
That's right.
But the thing that got me about the radio, I'm assuming that you didn't hear it, the way it was covered. But they had Furland on.
Yes, they did.
Again, saying, and I love it when they do this. Well, it's only going to be like $4 a year for the average people. If they pass this, of course, they don't care. It's only going to be $4 a year on top of the triple gas prices. The $5,000 coming out for inflation probably be $7,000 or $8,000 by the end of the year out of your pay because of inflation and the fact that you don't make anything. You have low income, or you're a renter, and you're going to absorb it through the landlord. And if you get one of these new absentee landlords, you're actually going to get assessed in addition to your rent. So your rent's not just going to go up. You're going to get assessed over the top of your rent. So let's put it this way. Please go to the Spindle City Straight Talk website when you get your bills. I want to see somebody that paid $4 and change for the year.
Yeah.
I want to see you, because every time we hear an
We'll have you on the
average
show.
Yeah, we might even have you as a guest and get you a coffee and a donut. Who knows? You'll be our guest of honor, because you'll be the average, the one-person average. Because every time throughout history, and we've had hundreds and thousands of these things, they always give us an average. And frankly, I have never met a person who paid the average.
The average.
I have never met anybody. Because they say, oh, your taxes are going to go up $100 a year. Then you got people calling the radio show going, my taxes doubled.
Yeah.
My taxes went up 50%. My $100. Every time they get these, I don't know what averages they are, but apparently they took like crayon bar exams. They got crayon math exams for people who work in finances in Fall River, because they only know how to sharpen the pencil in one direction to spend more money and get more money. But I mean, it's disappointing. I had high hopes for him.
Yes, so did I.
I had high hopes. But you know what happens? That's what happens. They're newbies in a council, and they're fairly inexperienced. Most of these people aren't, hard-bitten veterans of the wars in Fall River and know really about the internal politics. I mean, look, he's well-educated. He's a school principal. He's very, very dedicated to education. I was impressed by his philosophy.
He probably would have done better on the school committee.
On education, but they get to the city council and they're kind of overwhelmed. They see all these things like health care and retirement, and they listen to the numbers and they don't know the real backstories, because they're just, look, I don't expect them to. They're not involved in it.
Right.
And they don't go to the right people. And they get overwhelmed. Then they start listening to the career political ticks. Oh, we got to do this. Don't worry about it. This is fine. And then they con him into it. I think, unfortunately, he's listening to the wrong advice. Because if we look at the votes, Michelle's the only one fundamentally that stands up for the taxpayers each and every day. And if anybody he should be going to for numbers and facts is Michelle.
Yep. And you know what the sad part about it is? Andrew replaced Chris Peckham.
Yeah.
Okay?
Who was an advocate.
Who was an advocate for the taxpayer.
Yes.
This is why we say the voters don't realize who they're voting for. They don't do their research. You voted for Andrew unknown person, first time run, and you didn't know where he stood on taxes. You didn't know where he stood on. You liked him because he was the principal of your kid's school, or your friend recommended him because he's the principal of the kid's school, and he's a nice guy, and but nice guys don't represent the people. Okay, people who have a backbone, people like Michelle Dion who fight, even though she knows the fight is futile. Even though she knows it's futile, even though she knows there's no way it's going to pass the way I want it to, she still fights. She wants it to be heard because she wants the taxpayer to be heard. And then you've got people like Linda Pereira and Brad Kilby and Sean Kadim, Leo Pelletier, who don't represent the taxpayer, who represent the administration or represent themselves. If it benefits them, they're all happy. If it benefits the administration, they stay happy because they get the choice committees, like the TIF board.
Yes.
Okay?
The TIF board.
Yeah, the TIF board, which also met yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Another
boondock. Oh, also, did you see, were you watching, I believe it was Channel 10, may have been 12. Cranston did it again. We were also talking about Cranston. They're talking about low-income things. They're talking about things. They had a city councilor, and I was like amazed. I'm going, wow. They actually elected somebody that pays attention. She went on there and she basically ripped apart the budget. We got structural deficits in the structural deficits. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Recognizing the structure. We cannot pass, this budget has structural deficits built in. We have inflation. We have low income people. We have fixed income people. And she went on, and I'll tell you, it was so refreshing to watch someone who actually cared about the citizens of Cranston. And it looks like Cranston is our new shining beacon on the hill in this area.
Right.
Because they did the same thing with their police department. They called in an outside entity to investigate, replace the chief when they had issues in the police department. It looks like people in Cranston take action. And as CJ just said, herein lies the moral to that story. The people of Cranston elect these people. We have to elect it. To me, it's inexplicable how Michelle Dion could finish at the bottom with her performance. I think maybe Spindle City Straight Talk, before the next election, we're going to have to come up with a people before politics rating on every sitting city councilor with all the votes they took that impacted the taxpayer. And we can that sounds like a real good idea, that we tell the people what these people's not how many street lights they got for you, not that they gave you a Charisse sandwich or a chow mein sandwich. Look what we've done. We continue to elect the majority. Not that they've all been like that. We've had some good city councilors, and but we fundamentally destroyed Fall River. We have allowed it to decay for 20 or 30 years, and that's why we have the problems we have. When the Mills left, every politician that got in had a quick fix that didn't work, and nothing ever got fixed.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Right. And, we can use this ARPA money for so many different things, and all this is being used for is to line the mayor's friends' pockets, the bankers, the developers,
The lawyers.
It's lining all their pockets. Oh, but I'm giving money to businesses, small businesses, $2,500 or $5,000. A lot of good it does them.
Yeah.
A lot of good.
Yeah, in a city that has only 5,000 businesses versus almost 14,000 in Newton. Because why? Because people don't have money.
That's right.
But while you're doing that, you're giving them $2,500, and you're taking thousands out of the people who can keep that business afloat. So it's like you might as well just burn the money, because they're not going to be able to stay in business, because you're making it even harder for them to keep their business afloat, because you guys never stop spending. My God, we got an inflation. Tighten the budget. No, 60 people on a school department. Some rumors are we got another guy floating over to DCM.
Exactly.
A floater. We have a floater in the atmosphere. A UFO.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to go out on a limb.
Okay, go. I can't wait.
According to what I've followed personally so far, and the rumor mill, which, as we've always found out, is 99.999%
pretty damn accurate in Fall River.
Okay. The mayor wants to create a new position, director of operations or city operations or something along that lines. I know that for a fact because it was sent down to the city council and it was supposed to be sent to ordinance, which didn't appear last night. I'm surprised because he needs to create that position to hire this new gentleman. This new gentleman is allegedly coming from New Bedford.
New Beige. Ah.
And because he works in New Bedford.
And he's going to get a fatter salary.
He's going to get a nice big fat salary here in Fall River, allegedly between $120,000 and $140,000 a year. Everybody will report to him.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. What do you mean everybody?
Everybody reports to him. All the departments report to him.
Oh, really?
He's the director.
So you're going to tell me some bird brain that was in charge of the Department of Public Works or something or whatever he was in New Bedford, or the sewer department or whatever the hell department, is going to tell the fire chief. They got to report to the fire chief and the police chief got to report to them.
I guess so.
That is the biggest crock of horse shit I've ever heard in my life. Okay? Because they don't know anything about it. They don't know anything about the operations. And how can you do that? That's what these guys are going to. Are they going to eliminate all the heads of the department? No, because look, you want to talk fire department? I'll talk fire department with anybody.
I know you will.
And I can tell you what, I won't talk police with anybody because I don't know how the structure of a police department is. And police, those are professions and they're public safety positions. And look, the last reorganization the city undertook was under Carlton Viveris. That was done for the exact same reason, to give out pay raises and jobs to friends.
Right.
And that's what it accomplished, and it never improved the functioning of the city of Fall River.
Nope, or the finances.
And I can tell you the report they used for it. It was called the Coopers and Libran report. Okay? I've still got a copy of the report.
Isn't that the report that said the fire department was overmanned?
Yeah, at night.
At night, yes.
Even though the fact that
all the fires happen at night.
Most of the large loss fires and fatalities happen at night. That's how little they know about fire service.
Well,
but look, this guy's going to be in charge of everybody. It means that it's like, you ever hear? So now we're going to change that name. It's not going to be Director of Operations or whatever it is. It's going to be Jack of all trades, master at none, in charge of everybody who knows more than him about their departments.
Right. Well,
that's a long title, but it fits.
In all fairness, though, I'm not sure if the police and fire are part of this director of city operations, but it sounds like it is.
Isn't fire and police a city operation?
Yes, it is, and that's why I said it sounds like it is.
Look, let's get to the bottom line. The bottom line is this is an excuse to make a job for somebody that's a friend.
That's right.
Wasn't he talked about a while back?
Yes, he was.
As a matter of fact, when John Perry was being discussed to go to the department head, wasn't there rumblings about somebody sliding over from New Bedford?
Right.
Even then?
Right, there was.
So, they never go away.
Nope.
They just move them behind a curtain.
That's right.
And remember, keep your head down, keep your mouth shut. In a couple of months, it'll all blow over and you'll be back.
Now, I won't go out and say the gentleman's name, but I should.
But we all know it.
We all know who it is. And it's going to be very interesting to see, because if we have a director of city operations, do we still need department heads?
Yeah, and isn't the school department part of the city?
Yeah.
So are we gonna eliminate all the tier upon tier of maintenance people over there that are in charge of the maintenance? Well, he's in charge now.
Yeah.
So but we can have double everything.
I'll guarantee you, now that we've brought this up, that this job is going to be finite. It's going to be made finite. It's going to exclude police. It's going to exclude fire. And it's definitely going to exclude the school department. It's going to have everyone else in there. And they'll all report to him.
Yeah.
Okay? And then in which case, what's the sense of creating the position?
Yeah.
If you've taken out the 3 major departments in the city, okay, 3 major departments in the city, which operate on city tax dollars, because remember, water and sewer and EMS do not operate on tax dollars.
No.
They are self-sufficient.
That's right.
As they're supposed to be. They're enterprise funds.
That's right. They're enterprise funds.
So-
or at least they say they are.
Yeah, at least they say they are. And the sewer department isn't even part of the city. They're contracted.
Yeah, that's another pseudonym for the city.
Yeah.
Sewer.
Yeah, exactly. Another pseudonym for the
But
city.
look,
Sewer.
this is a job that shouldn't exist.
No, it
The
shouldn't.
bottom line, another tier.
Yes.
That's like 6 assistant superintendents, deputy mayors. Well, maybe we should get that one too. What the hell? Give yourself a deputy mayor. But all I can say is, again, we have the Pope of Patronage waving his magic wand. I don't think the Pope's got a wand. What do they call the thing that the Pope's got there? The staff.
Yeah, I know the.
I know there's a name, but
Yeah, there is. I can't remember what it is though right now.
But but the Pope of Patronage does it again, and it's going to all be under the guys who are going to make things better. Oh, it's going to run efficiently. That's right. Put a plumber in charge of the city so he can tell the electrician what to do. I mean, that's really good. That's really good. That's baloney. And in cities that have department heads that are making 6 figures or nearly 6 figures, you shouldn't need somebody to tell these people what to do. And if you do, they shouldn't be in that position. So you should eliminate the position or make them do their job. My thing is, you're paying them, make them do the job. We never had a problem. We've never had problems with people being held accountable in the old days. They used to call Frank Manning from DPW up in front of the council all the time. And he'd have to answer all the questions that the city council had. And that's when we had a city council that asked questions because they were worried about tax increases because they wouldn't get there, right? So,
well, the Pope's staff is called the pastoral staff or the crozier.
wow, okay.
Okay.
You look, see that? We've got our viewers are the greatest, man. We don't need a research team like some of these other news media. Our people will be right out there.
They're
We say
watching it and they
they're
know.
watching it and they'll shoot that baby right to us. So we got it. So,
So just so you know it now you know that name and it'll never leave your mind.
okay, that's it.
But the simple way was called the pastoral staff.
Well, so the Pope of Patronage has waved his pastoral pole.
Yep.
Staff. For him, it's a pole. The Pope gets the staff. He gets a pole.
Unless he goes to Hogwarts, in which case he has a wand and
Oh, yeah. But we're laughing, but it's to keep from crying because this is absolutely crazy. All we ever do, people can't pay their bills. Finances are tight. And everybody's sitting there fiddling while Fall River and the country burns because when it starts hitting fairly affluent communities that people can't afford rents. When a National Association of Home Builders sends a letter to the president saying you're breaking and yesterday we had a guest on another show who was a mortgage lender and said that basically they're destroying the housing market for entry-level buyers because of all the inflation.
Right.
And this is the thing. But it's like we walk around like we're going to save the Flint with we're going to put lipstick for the Flint corridor and we're going to do this. Well, tonight I'll speak on it, and I can tell you right now, I don't mind them spending money on it, but if it's money spent wisely. But, how many things have we had that were going to fix Fall River? The Big Mamie, the Carousel, the HMS
Bounty.
Titanic. Oh, Bounty, that's right. I'm sorry. The HMS Bounty.
It's the RMS Titanic.
That's right. That's right, the Bounty. Yeah, Mutiny on the Bounty. That was a British ship.
That's right.
They mutinied. It was a good movie, too, actually. And we've seen these short-term fixes, and therein lies the problem. Politicians only do things for this to get reelected. Short term, I'm going to fix it. Don't worry, I got this plan. In a couple of years, you're going to see Fall River blooming. Well, it never has, because then they're out of office. They serve their terms and they go disappear. They disappear.
And all those blooms,
Yeah.
you got to walk around with fruit bags.
Remember one time, I think somebody wrote a book, and I love the title because it's so true. And we think about it when I listen to politicians promise the taxpayers as they blow all their money and give all their friends high-paying jobs. Remember one thing, voter. When they promise you something, they're promising you the grass is always greener. But remember, the grass is always greener over the cesspool.
That's true. That sounds like a Bombeck story.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was. I think that was the book. You know, the grass is always greener over the cesspool.
There you go.
But look, you can, everybody's going to go, oh, you guys. No, look, these guys have been here the whole time. I've lived in Fall River my entire life, except for my military. And I've lived in a Flint virtually that entire time. I grew up in the Flint. I went in the military, came out. I had an apartment right on the periphery of the Flint on Jefferson Street till I bought my house in the Flint. I've lived here my whole life. I've invested in this city. So has CJ. We're here. So don't be pointing your finger, you guys never said, no, we're telling you the truth. We're giving you the benefit of a history here. I walked Pleasant Street when every store was full. And I know why they were full, and I'll tell you tonight why they were full. But the fact is that, look, we're not the people that ran out of town and then came back. That's the new norm. Kathy Ann ran to Westport, couldn't get elected, she came back. Paul ran to Somerset, came back to get elected, and when he's gone, I will bet you he will not live in Fall River for the rest of his natural life. He will be gone. So listen, you want to disagree with us, fine, but do not question our commitment to this city.
That's true. That's true. And I'll tell you now, we have nothing to gain by pointing out the foibles of, I'm using big words.
Sesquipedalian words.
That's right. You're using big words too. The foibles of the city council or of the mayors or of the school committee. Okay? We're pointing out some facts that relate to dollars and cents. Okay? Is Pleasant Street going to become another streetscape? Is that what it's going to become? Because if that's what it's going to become, let's not waste the money. Yeah. Let's not waste the money. Is it going to become another market rate housing boondoggle? If it is, don't waste the money. Okay? Because it's the market rate housing that has created rents at $1,700. I looked at my property because I get requests to buy it every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And I asked somebody what they would offer me for my property, sight unseen. Take a guess at what they're willing to offer me.
500?
$675.
Oh, it went up since the last time.
Yes, it
oh
did.
My God.
I said, what are you going to charge for rent on a place that you pay $675 for? They said, oh, $1,700. Those are 3-bedroom apartments. $1,700 to $2,000, and people will pay it. I said, it doesn't include utilities. Doesn't include
but
anything.
see, outside investors, they
Right.
actually think that they have no idea what the demographic in Fall River is. It's like, you think somebody can, $2,000, we got people that can't get a mortgage because they can't afford $1,200 mortgage.
Exactly. And this is one of the reasons why I keep my house.
Yeah.
Okay? It's one of the reasons why you keep your house. Because, number one, it's affordable, and it's becoming less affordable every day, but it's still affordable, and it's better than paying a $1,200 mortgage that I don't own anything, or more. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting to see if you can make tonight's meeting at the Our Lady of Light Band Club to find out what they're going to do with the Pleasant Street corridor. Please show up and give your citizens' input to that. I want to thank you for your time, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. We'll see you on Friday. Thank you.